Peace, everyone. Welcome. We
Hello,
are
hello,
three
hello.
spiritual chicks. I'm Jazz the Medium.
I'm T, aka Rose Red.
I'm Joy, aka a Joyous Connection.
Welcome back. We are on episode 4.
Woohoo!
Episode 4 in the building. Episode 4.
For the 704.
We really
704.
don't we really don't have a subject today. We were just talking, so we was like, let's just hit record, have a conversation. So what's going on with
Mhm.
y'all?
Nothing much. So I have a couple questions from our episode 2. You mentioned that like you had the near death experience. Do you think there's like a is it coordination, or you think there's a connection between near death experiences and having different abilities as far as
Yeah.
mediumship and all that stuff?
Yeah, and it can be like a near death experience. It can be like a traumatic event. It can be anything. And I hear about it often. I think I read a book by psychic, his life story. It might have been John Holland. He's one of my favorites. He was in a tragic car accident. So you hear things like that about things like that a lot. Um, had I always been gifted? Yes, but I think when I had that near death experience, I think what I can see and how I can view things shifted. Because shortly after that, I started hearing the voices again. Remember, I told you I thought I was schizophrenic. I thought I was going crazy, so I tried to keep it a secret. So yes, traumatic events and near death experiences. Yes.
Mhm. Okay. That makes sense. I actually sent a message to my sisters one day because I have this memory of me, and I don't know if it was in this lifetime or it could have been a previous lifetime, but me as a toddler, being at the bottom of a pool. Um, and it's like I can breathe in the pool, and there was somebody there who was in the pool with me. And they were kind of keeping me company while I was in the pool. I don't know, I can't describe exactly how they looked and things like that. Um, but I ended up getting, I think they helped me get out the pool somehow. I don't think nobody like came, like my family members and no one came. I asked my sisters and them, they don't remember. I didn't get a chance to ask my mom about that before she passed. But that's something I've thought about, especially recently, once you said that, because it's been a memory I've had since I was a kid. That
Yeah, and also I believe that sometimes we carry on the traumas of our past lives. We take them with us. And sometimes we have the ability to remember some of those things. Like I know for sure in a past life I was shot because I it's the same dream, it's the same theme. I know I was 16. I know I was walking home from school, and I know um a group of boys took me and they pulled me behind this group of bushes, and they were trying to rape me, but I was screaming and fighting so bad that one of them was like, just shut her up, and one of them shot me in the head. Like I remember, and I
mm,
remember like in the dream, it was a repetitive dream for a long time when he shot me in the head. I was dead and they knew I was dead, but I was still in my body, and I was just frozen. Like I could see them, but I was just frozen. I couldn't move. And I knew I was dead. And then right when I rose up out of my body, I woke up. And I had this dream ever since I was a little kid. Too young
mm,
to really understand what type of dream I was having. But that dream was very traumatic to me. And I used to have it a lot. So I do believe that we carry like traumatic events. And also a little off subject, but not completely off subject. Traumatic events from past lives can influence some of your fears that you have in this lifetime.
mm,
Prime example, I'm afraid of being closed in I'm not necessarily claustrophobic, but I'm afraid of like dark, damp places. And I'm afraid I have this fear of bugs crawling on me. Like it's just and of course, and I've always been scared of spiders, but any type of bug crawling on me just creeps me out. And one day I was at work, and it was confirmed later on by a past life reader too. But one day I was
Mhm.
at work and I had to call 911 on this man, and one of my nurses who was being over dramatic was crying. You know, she was having one of her little Karen moments. And the EMT, instead of like rushing this man out to the hospital who was having a heart attack, he said, "Oh, ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?" Trying to soothe her. This man is literally in his 80s or 90s. He's dying. And then they're soothing her.
Mhm.
So I stepped in. I was like, "Excuse me." I told her, like, get back to work. And she started crying even more. Like, "He's my favorite patient." And I said, "Look, sir, I need to give you a
Girl.
report." That EMT looked at me and he was like, "Shut up. I wasn't fucking talking to you. I was talking to her." And right then and there, I had a flashback and I saw him, and I swear, yeah, I swear, I was a slave on this plantation. It's like I blinked out. I was a slave on this
Mhm.
plantation, and he owned me, and he was dragging me and punishing me for something. And he had a crawl space beneath his porch, and he threw me down there and left me down there. And there were like bugs. It was completely black, and I was down there and there was bugs crawling all over me and
Mhm.
biting me. And he left me down in that crawl space. And I'm like, and that man, that he hated me. Like he tried to get me fired. He reported me to his chief. It was a lot of stuff. That man just hated me for no reason. And that vision I saw, that past life vision, I just knew like that's why it's a past life
Mhm.
connection. That's why. Because why would I see something that vivid that I wasn't even thinking about at that moment? It like came to me out of nowhere. I just thought I'd tell you about that. That was so traumatic.
No, that wow.
Yeah, but he ended up being put on administrative leave
Hmm.
and for like a lot being mean to a lot, being mean to me and some of the other nurses, but he was worse than me. And after that, his attitude changed. He ain't fuck with me no more. But yeah,
He effed around and found out.
yeah.
Basically,
Around that
that's what
mother-
it sounds like.
So sometimes now
He
I'm
effed
afraid
around.
of clowns at night on trains. I don't know why yet.
Have
Maybe
you
I was in the
seen a
circus. I don't know.
clown? Okay. When you, cause that's so, I don't want to say, well, yeah,
It's something
but
about.
like,
I'm not afraid of trains. So let's talk about fears, because I'm not
yeah,
afraid of trains during the day. I'm afraid of trains at night. I'm not afraid of clowns. I'm
Mhm.
afraid that I'm going to see you remember Dumbo, the movie Dumbo in the beginning when they was on the circus
mhm,
train and she gave birth to that part creeps me out. I
okay,
Oh,
can't with
okay,
it. Oh god. If I'm driving and it's at nighttime and the train comes, I turn my car around or I close my eyes like this until the train comes. I just
oh Lord.
baby.
okay,
What
okay.
are what are some of y'all fears?
Um, I don't know what like fears. Other than that, I be having this dream. It's almost well, I be having this dream a lot where um I'm in a car driving and I'm driving not off I can be going over a bridge, I can be going over something and the car is going it's never the same dream, but it scares the heck out of me. So now, for some reason, and this just recently started happening, where now I have like a fear of bridges, high bridges.
Mm,
I be scared, y'all. I don't know why. Like it, and it has to be super high. Like it's a bridge going over, from Maryland over to Delaware, I think, and that mug
Bay
is
Bridge.
super high. I was, I know, I'll be scared. So that's one of my fears right now. And I think I told my husband I'm about to sound crazy. We went hiking one day with a couple of our friends and I about tripped, like we were on the edge of the mountain, like we were at the very top of the mountain and I about tripped. And I think I my ass been telling him, babe, I think I'm living in a different world because I think I fell over the edge of that mountain because I don't understand how I did not fall. Because I tripped. When I say it was just rocks and we were at the very top, uh, that may be why I'm scared of falling over the over the bridge or something. There, that was like 6 years ago. Hmm.
But you know, they say when we're born with two fears: loud noise and the fear of falling. Those are just natural fears that we have, like the fear of falling. Have you noticed that even with a very little newborn, like if you move them too fast, they'll grab you or they'll startle you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fear of falling. Hmm. What about
So
you,
I
T?
have had those. So I listen to y'all like mine's not as, but however, I have had the dreams where I've fallen and I've woken up before I hit whatever is below me. But scared of shit of snakes just don't. Mm-mm. It even creeped me out seeing them at the zoo. Like, mm-mm. Um, don't really. So as far as we'll say driving, I don't like I don't like Jersey walls.
Say it
My
again.
thing just fell. Hold on. You gonna come on? Okay, bam. So I don't like driving by Jersey walls. So when you driving and you got those like cement blocks, I don't like driving by those. Like I'm literally driving and I'm 10 and 2. I don't like getting close to them. They freak me out. Why? I don't know. Um, I don't think I've ever hit one before, even in another life, but those freak me out. But I don't think heights I'm good, but snakes most definitely.
Mm,
Unless
yeah.
we go to like
T.
deep personal stuff,
Mm-mm.
but
You the most no. Mm-mm. No. I ain't doing it. Don't you sit up here and act like you ain't got no feelings.
okay, so all right, boom, let's go into it. So, because we will, so the spiritual stuff. Okay, we're gonna talk about the fears. But see, you get me in trouble, Jazz, because right now, my mama have been on my ass pretty much telling me why are you afraid when we have your back. Okay. So we just had a podcast where the young lady spoke about having spirits like walk through her, things like that. So one of the things that I don't like the fact that I'm very sensitive, which y'all know. However, when a spirit is trying to mount me, that freaks me the hell out. I don't like how I feel. I don't like the pressure. I don't, it's the fear of unknown. I'll say that. However, that's why I say you get me in trouble because my mama's saying, what you scared of? We gave you this gift. We got your back. We want to protect you. So you're supposed to let it happen. However, y'all both have been witnesses when we've done mediumship. And I'm like, oh, nope, I'm not doing that. So thanks to Jazz, she taught me that you are in control. When it comes to the spiritual world, you have the power. What you say goes. So 10 out of 10, I'm saying, we ain't doing that. Say what you gotta say. Then they get upset because I don't hear them exactly, or I'm not saying the message how they want me to say it, and then they try to mount me. And that's when I'm like, nope, all right, y'all gotta go. So yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
you don't have to. You don't have to. It's your domain. You run it how you want to run it. Everybody want to be mounted. Everybody don't want to channel. That's all right. It takes a certain amount of trust for a person to be comfortable with any type of physical mediumship or anything like that.
But Jazz, you said something yesterday, or on our last podcast where about the mountain where you're in control. So you have the capabilities of cutting them off.
Hmm.
Like if you allow them to mount you, you have the capability to be like, we done right now.
Yes. And with physical mediumship, there are certain levels, like there's certain percentages, like it's like beginning, there's like intermediate, and there's like advanced. What beginners level, you still have complete control, but they are still using you as a host. So it's still very much like you, but you might see like and if I do it, which I don't do it because like Tiara, I don't like it, I'm uncomfortable with it. You might hear like changes in the voice, subtle changes in my voice, or stuff like that. You might be able to you'll hear the differences, but it's not like major. For the most part, it's me, and I have full control. So then you have like more of an intermediate type where it's a 50-50, where they're doing most of the work, but you're still in control. Like you can still control your body movements, you can still do this and that, you can still do that. Now, when it comes to more of an advanced physical mediumship, you have no control. That takes a lot of trust, because oftentimes you won't remember what was said when you come back. A good example of that would be I don't know if you read any books by Sylvia Brown, but she talks about Francine.
Mhm.
Oh, y'all gotta read some of her books. She got some good books. But she talks about Francine, and Francine is like her guide. And Francine is able to use, she allowed Francine to use her as a vessel. And through her event, Francine would speak to people. And oftentimes Sylvia wouldn't remember what Francine did or said, but people be left in awe like. So if you watch, sometimes if you watch videos, because sometimes you can find them on YouTube and you see people be mounted. Like I've seen people be mounted, especially like with practices like voodoo and stuff like that. They'll speak a whole different language. They don't even speak.
Yeah,
They
I
will
mean,
speak
I've
a different
seen it.
languages they
Mm-hmm.
never spoke, and speak it very fluently. And they come back and they just be like, "What happened?"
Mm-hmm.
That happened to me one time, and that happened. And I was with a small group of friends. We used to sit in a circle and do deep breaths and meditations. I mean, completely black, lights off, candles lit. It was almost like a seance. We would sit down and we will receive messages from spirit. And I decided to trust it one time. I didn't know what I was doing. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Nah, but I knew after that I didn't want to do it again. By the time I came through, everybody was in the room crying. They said that I had spoken another language. One of the girls there, she said that she took French in high school and college, so she knew I was speaking French. I was speaking a different language, and then when I did speak, you know, when I did speak English, she said that I got up and walked around with them one by one, and I was just telling them things, and they were so blown away. Everybody was crying but me, and I'm confused, like what the hell just happened. All I know, I just felt like I blinked and I was back. I just knew that after that I was extremely tired, and I slept like 20 hours the next day. So after that I didn't let that happen again. I made sure. Or as my mentor, shout out to Indigo, says, strengthen your armor, your protective armor. Strengthen your armor.
Yeah, no, I don't want no parts of that either.
But
Mm.
so, sometimes when I read, you'll see things like you'll see subtle facial changes. I've got some old lives where I went live with different people. I'm done readings live, done chanting live, and you'll see my face change subtly. You'll see it's like an overcast that come over
Mm-hmm.
your face, and if you look closely, it'd be somebody else's face. I've done it before.
Mhm.
My voice has changed before.
But were you aware of it when it was happening? Like how I said, I don't like I can feel, and granted, I don't, because I'm still learning and on this journey. Um, but for me, it's like I literally feel it. I feel the heaviest pressure when they're like about to sit in my lap. That's the best way for me to explain it. And I'm like, oh hell nah, no.
You know why? Because
What? You said because what?
that heaviness, you feel that it's a resistance. It's like you pushing. That's what it is. You're resisting. But for people that allow it to happen, it's like taking a breath. You just like,
Okay.
you might see people do it. Like if you see people begin the channel, they'll take a deep breath, they relax. You might
Okay.
see their head go down, then they'll come up. Like Bashar. That's a good one. Bashar. Watch Bashar. Watch when he
Yeah.
turns into Bashar. Pay attention. He'll go, hello, everybody. He be Bashar. Like, that's
Mhm.
how it be. If you allow it, it's like breathing. It's
Okay.
the resistance. It's that fear. It's like maybe your subconscious knows before. It's like, oh no, 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 no.
Well, y'all already know how sensitive I am, so yeah, I feel everything. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that. I'm learning to embrace and walk on this journey. Yeah, baby steps for that. Okay.
Mhm. But you know
So
what?
yes, that's a fear. Okay,
But
that
you
is
know,
a fear.
we all have our little fears when something we don't know is trying to inhibit our body. You know, we all not have a fear. I'm sorry, I'm way off. We all can feel when something is trying to come. We can feel it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that
Mhm.
pressure is caused because you're kind of scared of it because you don't know what's gonna happen next.
Mm, okay.
So I mean, one day it just may happen, and when it happens, you'll be like, "Oh, that wasn't so bad." But then you see all these movies out here where people be inhabited by the devil, and then they go massacre like 800 people because they had a spirit in their body, and then they come home and eat eggs for breakfast. You know, they don't know what happened. So a lot of people, it creates a lot of fear.
Well, a discussion for another day. You both very well know that I've seen someone be inhibited by something else. So I wonder if that also is why I have that fear as well. So okay, all right.
It wasn't a pleasant experience.
Hell no.
I mean, I've seen both.
Hell no. It was not. You know.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I
Jazz.
just prefer not to. What you say,
And
Joy?
I was about to tell you about the experience I told Tiara, where some stuff from when I was a kid is coming back. Um, because I was definitely looking at somebody and I could see that they were. I don't want
Mm,
to say what they was, but they was not in the whoever was in that body was not in human form. Let's
mm.
just say that.
So yeah.
And it was weird because they was like, "Oh, she recognized me. Oh, she see me,"
Mm.
and just kept kind of looking. I was just like, "Oh, okay, girl."
You know what? There are a lot of things out here.
Oh, we know. We know, and that's well. I don't know if I can say that, but yeah, that's why Halloween is a holiday that many people like.
I
I'm
remember,
learning.
I remember one time I was in the store online. I never forget this day. And I was helping an old lady in front of me. She just had her cart and she could not, because she was in a wheelchair, she could not reach into the cart and put her stuff on a conveyor belt. And the cashier was getting frustrated with her. So I helped her get her stuff on the conveyor belt. And everybody in line was getting mad because we were waiting a long time. But I knew
Mm-hmm.
the lady couldn't help it. And I was dog tired. So I was putting the stuff on the conveyor belt. And she was chatting with me saying like her kids don't come see her no more, they don't help her no more, whatever. And this man behind me was like, "That was very nice what you did." So I turned around. I was like, "Thank you." But when I looked at him, something about his eyes captured me.
See.
Something about his eyes. He had like the brightest blue eyes. He was a white man. He was completely bald, no hair nowhere. His head was completely bald. His face was completely bald. It was just no hair nowhere.
Mhm.
And he had like the brightest blue eyes. I had never seen eyes that blue before, and except for maybe in a dream when I was talking to an alien. But anyhow, he was just like, "That was very nice what you did," and he smiled. And the first thought that came to my mind, like, "This is an angel."
Hmm.
And right when I was walking out, he was like, "Bless you, have a good day." I said, "Thank you," but it was just odd. Oh yeah, and he told me that I was a really good person. He was like, "You're a really good person," and
Mm.
that was all he said. Nothing more, nothing less. But I knew that he was something other than that. Man,
Mhm.
he wasn't human. He couldn't have been. There's no way. And also, his aura was just so bright. It
Mm.
could have been blinding. His aura, yeah. We
Okay.
want to talk about archangels one day.
Yes, I haven't had the pleasant experience of that. I've seen the other side, the dark side, and nah, y'all got it. I definitely learned why my grandmother used to say the eyes are the window to the soul. So, because you can
Hmm.
definitely see a lot when you look at people and you look in their eyes. So
Mhm.
you can tell
Mhm.
whether they human, not human, good, evil.
Crazy.
So
You ever talk to somebody and you looked at them and looked like nobody was there?
yes. Mm-hmm.
I dated a guy like that, and after him, I know if I see somebody with eyes
Oh.
like that, I run. It was just nothing there. They be talking to you, they be like, "Yeah, my name is Rob, man. I work for
Mm-mm.
Burger King, and I don't know what I'm gonna tell you, but you be looking at them like,
Okay. Blink
Mm-mm.
twice. You be like,
right?
by the eyes, see they blink.
They be talking about you like,
Yeah, nah.
it don't be nothing there. It be empty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Understood.
wonder, do you think that? Do you want? That's a good question. Maybe I could ask one of y'all. Can the human body operate without a soul?
Ooh. Well, how
Mhm.
deep you want to go?
Are there people out here running around with souls?
You said what?
Are there people running around out here without souls?
So I'm about to share an experience that both of y'all have heard about offline. I'm just going to do the topic. So I'm going to say yes. And the reason why I'm saying yes is because I've witnessed it. Um, Someone that I have encountered in a dream, I actually saw they were in the dream, they were sick. Granted, they were in human form, they were sick. However, they were lying. It was like I was in this house and I was just like witnessing everything. So they were lying on a couch facing the back of the couch. So their backside is to me. And literally, like, they were no clothes on from the butt, from the waist down. And from the butt, I literally saw like a clear liquid leaking from their bottom. So, and this person is also um someone that I encountered that I know has a dark entity within them. Um, so I would say yes, because in my dream, how I interpreted it was they were showing me that the soul has left the body, and I don't even know how to explain it. It's yeah. When I say clear liquid, it was weird. It was weird in a dream, and it was a lot. It was a
So how
lot,
do
and it
we how
wasn't.
do we remain animate without the soul? What animates our body? For people out there that are soulless. Those are the type of things I be thinking about.
So I have a question though. You said for the people that remain soulless, how? So if their body is taken over by another entity, isn't that the body moving, but the human soul is not there?
But that's the soul of an entity without the body. And my question was, can the body operate without a soul? Just empty. See, these are
So
times when I wish my teacher was not in retirement, because I be want to ask him stuff like this so bad. Because he entertained my silly ass questions.
No, because with you saying that, because I guess they would, if you're saying, so basically what you're saying is if they have an entity within them that's still considered a soul. Is
Or
that what is
it's
that what
something.
I'm understanding from
It's
you?
something. Yeah. And my question is, are there people walking around here that are completely empty? I'm about to ask Indigo. I'm about to phone a friend. She probably won't even answer. Because I
Yeah,
want to know.
I want to know too because that would be interesting. I don't know how that would be
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, because I have to get because when okay.
What you phone a friend? I'm phoning a mentor. I pray she answer because I want to know so bad. Answer, Indigo. Answer. Answer. Answer.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying
Indigo say you are not putting me on your podcast, ma'am.
Oh, look, Indigo. Oh, she coming on. And y'all gonna love her. Now we're gonna be on here for 74 hours because Sister Girl is so full of wisdom. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
God. And you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
tuned in the whole time like this. You're gonna forget you had to go to bed, you're gonna forget you missed dinner. Cause she has so much wisdom, you can't help it.
Mm.
But so
Here about you like I got questions.
no, I do. But the biggest thing is I'm thinking about what Jazz said because um I've also seen a person hang up their skin suit. However, based on what you just said, if they're inside the body and the body is moving,
Yeah.
you're
See,
saying
you're
that they
thinking
have
about something different. That's like an entity
yeah.
that's posing as a human. You know what I
Okay.
mean? That's like
Okay.
I'm talking about an empty vessel,
I don't think
an
you can. I
I
inanimate
don't
vessel,
go ahead, Joy. You got it. Go ahead.
like zombies. You know what I mean?
I don't think. I mean that's possible. Um, unless they medicated and so I don't know. Uh, but um, yeah, that's. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible to be a body out of soul. Um, because you will almost be like a robot. That's how I would see it. Maybe.
So for those that are out there watching, I pose the same question. Can the body operate, make decisions, think, have emotions, have anything like that without a soul? Can the
Y'all gonna make
brain
it.
function, make rational decisions, emotional decisions, feel, think?
See, I'm
No,
saying no. I don't think so.
without a soul.
I don't think so. And the reason, well, this is my theory thought process. The soul is the light. Like you can look, how you almost can look at people and be like, their light is dimmed. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you see people now that go through, like you said, a traumatic experience, and you see like they are never the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like your soul is the life force. But yeah, come on, Indigo. I got questions.
I know I keep checking my phone to see
Because
some text
now
back.
if you saying that like your soul is your life force. So if you take that away, you're not cognizant.
It just made me think about that movie Soul, that cartoon. Y'all see that?
What is it?
It's called Soul. It's
Uh-huh.
a
Yes.
cartoon.
Yes.
It makes
Yes.
me like that.
Mm-hmm. But so I take care of the elderly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I have a knack for knowing when people are getting ready to pass away. And you know how? I'm gonna tell a quick story. We had a lady, we'll just call her Virginia. She was like 106 years old, still walking around.
Oh, that's what's up.
and she would put on her tennis clothes and walk around with a tennis thing all night, and say she was going a tennis racket, and so she was waiting for her husband to come get her to go play tennis, or she'll be looking
Mm,
for her mother. But she was very mobile to be 106. And I remember one day for about 5 days straight, I saw her soul walking next to her, or it was like
mm,
a ghostly, like, or a see-through part of her walking with her. So like she's
mm.
walking over here with her walker, and her soul is just walking next to her, like do 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 do. I'm like,
Okay.
how is this happening?
Okay.
What's keeping them connected? And she passed away 5 days later. I remember I worked 3 to 11 at night. She was like, I'm gonna go ahead and go on in my room and go to bed, and she just didn't wake up. And her soul, whatever it was, followed right behind her in the room. She went to sleep, and they went to sleep, and she didn't wake up. I'm guessing
Did
that
the
spirit.
soul look like
Mhm.
was so the same age?
It was like, I can't explain it. It didn't look like her because I couldn't see. It was like a silhouette, like a light
Mm,
silhouette. It was light, but it was a silhouette of her. Does that make sense? So I
mm-hmm.
don't know. Like you could tell it was her by the build, the slender, like it had like her build. It was real slender, but it was like a silhouette. I knew it was her or another
Okay.
aspect of her. It didn't come
Mm,
to my intuition. Never once did I think that's another being or that's an angel or that's an ancestor coming together. I knew without a doubt it was her.
okay.
Similar mannerisms, the way she walked, I knew it was her. I knew because my intuition told me, like, oh,
Mm,
that's her. I knew it. Or that was her essence, or that was what made her her.
mm-hmm.
That's weird. I mean, I'm saying that because I asked that way is because before my past, it was within that 5 day mark. Um, I'll never forget sitting on my bed watching TV and me seeing my mom sitting right there in front of my bed, but it wasn't her. It wasn't a sickly her or anything like that. It
Mm,
was a healthier version. I was like, "Oh, well, what the hell is going on?" She just sat there in front of my bed. She didn't really say nothing. Um, I called my sister to make sure she was still alive. But I was like, "This woman's in there sleeping," and I was like, "Okay, uh, mommy is sitting in front of my bed. I don't know what the heck is going on," and she just kind of left. And I did tell my mom. Um, the next day when I went to see, I was like, "Mommy, your soul came and saw me. I don't know why, but it was sitting in front of my bed." So that's why I asked that because that's
Mhm.
it. Mhm.
I wonder. I don't know, but I've seen some things. And we'll have to talk about them another day. We need to have Indigo on so I could tell you about Indigo inside, or remind me to tell you the story of Indigo inside.
okay.
But we need to get into our readings because it's getting late. But I got to tell you about them and how that I was able to see them like materialize. Sai would be in California and Indigo in Ohio, and I would see her on video call materialize behind him in his house. I mean, stuff I've
Mm,
seen before.
okay. All right.
All right. So we're doing financials,
Yeah,
um, finances and career tonight, zodiac signs. Okay, I'll take a water because I've been taking fire and y'all been switching it up. So I'll take water
I'll do fire.
I guess I do Earth.
and we'll split. We'll be leaving air out. You know what? I'll do air. We'll split water. Okay. So I'll take
Okay.
cancer. My rising's cancer.
Um, I'll do. Who three we got? Cancer, Scorpio, Pi- I'll do Scorpio.
Why you saying like?
We'll
I
look
guess
at
I.
Pisces.
Oh, you
We'll
know
look at
what?
Pisces. Do Pisces.
I'll take. I'll take Pisces. I'll take Pisces. I'll take
Okay.
Pisces.
I
So
mean,
the
got
I'll
the
look.
bottom cart in Amazon on Amazon because I'm trying to buy it right now.
All right. So we know what we're doing.
I
Yep.
All
guess
right,
so.
let's get started with Aries.
That's me. That's me.
Whoever said they
No,
was doing fire.
that's me. All right. What we got for Aries? My bad. Y'all gonna have to. All right. Let's see what we got for Aries. Uh, hmm, okay. All right, Aries. When it comes to finances, we're gonna have some ebbs and flows, ups and downs. Um, there's some financial things that you're focusing on right now. There's some things that you're unsure about. Um, I think you're trying to switch up a direction. I'm getting you might be thinking about a career move right now. There's been some changes in your workplace, and you're looking to get out. Make sure before you do that that you weigh your pros and cons um, of the current job versus another position that you looking at. And my cards just flew out everywhere. So with the timing, the main thing I say is stay positive throughout the process, but also stay in the moment. Don't keep looking for what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next week in your journey of trying to find a career change. Stay in the moment and focus on the day to day because you do not want to get ahead of yourself. So that's what I have for the Aries.
Got it. Taurus.
Taurus. Let's see. All right. Well, Taurus, what I see that I guess with finances, let's go here. Or that's what we're talking about. With finances, I see that there is a couple business ventures that some tourists may be wanting to take that is going to be in the finance business, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's going to be, I don't want some taxes. I mean, maybe accounting or something like on that nature. I do see success with that. I do also see though that you need to make sure if you're taking on a new financial business um, as a financial advisor or accountant, that you need to make sure that the clients that you are doing business with that you have all their paperwork and things together um, when it comes to that. But I do see some success when it comes to businesses there. Hopefully that answers the finance piece. I also see that you guys need to make sure that you're being careful when it comes to spending money. With spending your money um, as well. Making sure that you're spending your money on the right things. So, meaning not overspending, right? Making sure that if there's something that you need that is a necessity, you're spending your money on the necessities, not your wants at this current time. All right, who's next?
Gemini. So Gemini, some of y'all are needing more clarity um on when your finances will improve. I think some of y'all are like I feel like some of y'all Geminis, y'all been working hard trying to pay off debt and stuff like that. And some of y'all feel like the time will never come, like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? But the cards are pushing you to keep going because there is light at the end of the tunnel. Ten of Cups. And like whatever you're trying to do financially, it will improve. It will get better. For some of you, you might come into some extra cash that might help you pay some of your debt off. And for others of you, you might just start making more money, period, and you might have extra. Like, it's hard nowadays. I feel like everybody living paycheck to paycheck because but I feel like things will start to improve for you and you're slowly going to start to receive clarity. Also, pay attention to unexpected money. You might receive an unexpected check in the bank. Some of y'all might overpay your taxes, so they may owe you money. And also check the Department of Unclaimed Funds for your state because some of you might have some funds there. All right.
Who's next?
Me, Cancer. Cancer. What do we have for Cancer? Cancer. Okay, so if you're working right now, you might be in line for a promotion or a raise. If you're working at a certain job and you're looking for another job to bring more money in, you might find another job outside of where you work at that's going to bring more money in. I see a lot of growth here. For some of you, an unexpected windfall of money, Cancer. So I feel like your finances are doing good, but I feel like they're going to do even better. And also for some of you, within the next week or so, you may even receive some good news when it comes to a job. Like y'all might receive like a raise or some extra money or something like that. But there's a lot of financial abundance in this reading. So, and also, Cancer, Spirit want me to remind you to count all your blessings. Okay. So, like, if you at a restaurant and the person in front of you offer to pay for your food, that's $10 extra you got in your pocket. Or if you all the food you usually buy is never on sale, it's on sale, you get it for a cheaper price. That's a blessing. Count all your blessings. Gas is cheaper. Gas is on sale. I am recording. I'm sorry, y'all. My brother is so rude. Or gas is like cheaper or something like that. Any way that you save money, it's a blessing. So Cancer, money is looking really good for you.
Okay, we on Leos. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Leos. So we got some ups and downs. I'm getting finances as well. We got ups and downs, and like Jazz just mentioned, with the current state of the economy right now, there are going to be some ups and downs with your finances. However, with that being said, looks like you may have made a financial decision that you have regretted. Just know that it's still going to work out in your favor. You're going to find money. Money's going to come to you out of nowhere. That's going to help offset that financial setback. Ultimately, you're going to, because at the end of it, I got the Queen of Cups. You're going to be able to sit back and relax and watch your money grow. But yeah, there's going to be some ebbs and flows, some financial difficulties, but that's because it has to do with materialistic things. So um, when it comes to watching your spending, I don't know how I'm trying to think of the right way to say it, but basically, instead of buying that $5,000 purse, you may want to hold that and put that in your savings. So that's what I have for the Leos.
Okay, $5,000 first. All right, we'll get there. um, so I see Virgos, right? Um, Virgos, let's see. Virgos, what I'm getting is that it's gonna you need to focus on balancing right now. So when I'm referring to when it's comes to balancing, balancing what you currently have and being grateful for what you currently have. When it comes to your finances, you're able to pay your bills, you're able to do all that great stuff. But just showing more gratitude as well. And I have gratitude there, right? For gratitude for what you have, but being able to balance your finances. So again, that's going to go into making sure you're not doing any extra spending. I see that it's going to come into play where it's going to start flowing a little bit better for you, where you may have a little bit of an overflow that comes later on. There, but just making sure you're showing gratitude and you're balancing your finances right now. Is what I'm picking up right now. And having patience because it's coming, it's gonna come and it's gonna flow the way it's supposed to flow.
All right, Libra. So Libra, I'm looking at possibly a partnership, and a partnership could be with this is about a business, a financial plan in a business. Like maybe a possible partnership with either like your spouse or significant other or a friend from the past or somebody you've known for a long time from the past that you've done business with before. But I see like a collaboration and I see yeah, I feel like this collaboration is going to be successful. So for some of you who are who trying to like start your own business or do anything like that, I do feel like it will be successful. It will increase your finances, and you will definitely have success with it. It's also going to transform how you live your life and how you see things in life. You know, if you're a Libra that's been working hard all day, all every day, 70 hours a week, this business with your partner is going to cut down on that quite a bit. Thanks, Libra.
It's on me, Sagittarius.
Scorpio.
Oh, well, not,
Scorpio, yo,
not me, not yet.
all right, Scorpios. What I am getting is you have recently went through a period of not having the finances that you may have wanted to have, or maybe you needed some assistance and things like that. You dealt with that pretty good. So we're dealing with that pretty good. What I see is to come right now is you're gonna be in a good state. You're gonna be able to manage your finances. You're actually gonna have an overflow of funds to be able to do the things that you want to do. I'm not saying overspend, right? But I'm saying that you will be able to have the funds that you need and not depend on anyone else to be able to help you. Um, yeah, I see that money is going to be coming in. Financial opportunity is going to be coming in for you as well. So just make sure that because of what the work that you put in before is now your season to start embracing that and receiving that back. So that's what you have. Go ahead and get that abundance going on.
Okay, Sagittarius. So, I'm getting that you guys may have made an investment and you lost your money. And you're really feeling some type of way about that. However, it appears there was a rash decision. You did not sit and think things through. However, with that said, it's time for you to reset. Take a look at your finances, go over everything. Um, Go over your budget. The main thing I'm also getting is you do a lot of emotional spending. Don't do that. Don't do that. When you're feeling some type of way, before you go and swipe that card and buy, I don't know, a new pair of shoes, check your bank account first. However, but it's going to be a fresh start. At the end, once you sit down, I do see prosperity coming to you. Things are going to make the change for the better. And I'm also, this was a lesson that you had to go through, a financial lesson, unfortunately, because of, it's one of those things. You've been on a hamster wheel. You've been doing, trying to make quick money. and it's been working out, and this time you took a big loss, a big hit. So it's time for you to sit down and revamp and think about how to invest your money moving forward. Sorry, Sagittarius.
Then why don't be calling me out?
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Don't be
oh.
calling me out because the stock market been kicking my butt. The stock market has been kicking my ass. I done lost all types of money up in there.
What they say, people lie, but the cards don't. Sorry, I love you though.
Emotional spending. I don't know what you talking about. Capricorn.
It's okay. Joy about to read me for filth. Let's go, Joy.
I've been trying to see if we're gonna get something different. Okay. Um,
Get her, Joy.
you are spending too much money right now.
I be good.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
too much money. I see that you're using it, using your finances. It's not that you're lacking um at all right now, but you're overusing. You're spending money on just what everything that it seems like right now. So what I'm doing is a misuse of funds, is what I'm showing. So you're abusing your finances right now. All right. What I would say is, with you guys, you probably need to sit down and maybe do some financial planning, planning out a budget for things that you want for your sorry, for what your sorry, I can't get the thoughts together. You need to set up a budget for what your expenses are versus what your wants are, and then start saving. Right? Because you're just spending so much money right now, and it's not allowing you to save. So school is wanting you to start saving money and stop spending so much money, okay? If you need to speak to a financial advisor, speak to a financial advisor and get invested in maybe some different stocks and things like that where you can have those funds going to another route versus spending. Okay.
Don't invest in nothing right now with that stock market.
It's funny. I was going to say after what I just told.
Yeah, but yeah, don't invest. If you
If
can invest in business,
you
fine. But
do invest strategically, so I've been moving money so that I
Mm-hmm.
can hopefully rebound later on.
then
Mm-hmm.
stop everything.
All right, Aquarius. We got some money. Ooh, Aquarius. You know, I got all my people, they're receiving money from unexpected places. Somebody with a loan that owe you money from the past may pay you back, or you may receive extra money from somewhere else. Um, I feel like if you're an Aquarius and you've been struggling financially, I think it's all a mind thing. And also for some reason, I feel like your money's connected to your emotions, which means that when your emotions are down, you're not as active as you would be if your emotions were up when it comes to making financial decisions. Like you might not feel like working as much or getting out there and hustling as much where you're down a little bit and it affects your money. So just keep that in mind. And when you're trying to survive and, make money to stay as rational as possible. Thanks, Aquarius.
Okay, let's close this out with Pisces. So,
See, you
Pisces, I see that you've been spending money, however, you're doing it to help other people and not focusing on yourself. So, um, yeah, I'm seeing that you giving, 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 giving. You're helping others. However, remember, the saying that you can't pour from an empty cup. So before you can get out and pay, when I say others, I'm not referring to the bill collectors, okay? I'm referring to like family, friends, those around you. And you may be doing things without checking your budget or checking, your financial statement for the money, or you are moving money that you should not be moving, touching money that you should not be touching. So I do see this going to be, let's see if I can get another good card for you, because right now I'm going to see it may, there may also be some money that was moved that you're unaware of. Um, but just know in the end, things are going to work out. You're going to be financially stable. I see good things. It's the Ten of Pentacles. So you got all good things coming to you. Wealth, prosperity, family is going to be stable. So you're going to bounce back from it, but it may take some time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I receive that.
So this concludes our episode. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in. With that being said, next Tuesday we'll be here again. Peace.
See you later.
Bye, y'all. Mhm.